Breaking news. I just want to say that. Today, I'm gonna build a Lego lightsaber that actually lights up and is customizable. And I had this idea literally while I was asleep of how I could do this. So I made a prototype. Basically, if we run Technic through the middle, we can use these clear pieces, as you can see here, and build out the lightsaber. In order for this to be a viable Lego lightsaber, it needs to do 3 things. It needs to be made of clear pieces on the blade, it needs to light up, and it needs to be sturdy enough to swing, like do this and actually not break. So that's the plan. The first step, we need to order a bunch of clear pieces so that we can actually build the blade. So as you see here, we have a bunch of clear pieces, and these are these little tubes. So you put 2 of them together and they make a round shape. And if you stagger them, it holds together, and this is gonna make up the blade of our lightsaber. And on the inside, we can put a long Technic piece to actually lock it together, and then LEDs around it, and hopefully it'll actually glow and work really good. So let's start by stacking a bunch of these and getting the length of our blade. At the end of this, we're just gonna add 1 clear round plate with a hole in it, and then we'll add this to cap it off, and we'll add the Technic on the inside. But look at that, now we have a lightsaber blade. For now, as you can see, it's not sturdy at all. That's the plan, guys. This is working exactly as planned. Now we just need to get Technic beams. I'm specifically going to use light bluish gray Technic beams because they're kind of hidden more than the darker ones would be. Now what we gotta do is lock a bunch of these together with pins. Look, we got more. We only have a 2x2 area to work with on the inside of this, so we gotta be careful what we put in here. My one worry is that it's going to be sturdy one way, like this, and then the other way it's just gonna snap. This obviously fits through here. We have that there. So now, if we hold this, the rest of it held together. It's not bad. And then as you can see, this is only 1 wide, so we can put the LED tape around it. Okay, so first prototype. It works, but it's not tight enough. Because the weak points are, as you can see right here. So we need to make it so all these little breaks in it are perfectly in the center of these glass pieces. Take this piece off. I'm going to take out this bar. We need to see what matches up perfectly between these. We get a bunch of these pieces and a bunch of these pieces. Attach a couple blue things in here. Theoretically, this fits in between here, and we can do it on the next one as well. And that's a lot stronger. And then if we just do the same thing on each little thing like that, that could work. Problem is we're working with a 2 wide space and we have to lock together 3 wide. So now we have like a chain inside of glass. I think we got the magic formula here. Let's keep going with this. We need more of these. So it's still bendy, which is not what we want. If we swing it, yeah, we don't want that. So what we can now do is figure out how to make it not move side to side in there. All right, so 2 weeks and a haircut later, I think I've come up with a working design we can use for this thing. So this is the old design. As you can see, this thing can wiggle around on the inside, which is really not good. You can still bend it like this. However, the new design is a lot more rigid. Now, given it's still Lego, it can bend a little bit, but it doesn't bend and break like this one. So I used the same design with the 1x5 Technic lift arms on this thing. The problem was, we need this to sit in here like that. But this gives it a lot of wiggle room. Also, keep in mind, it can wiggle side by side like this, which is not what we want. However, we can't block that space off because we still need to run an LED strip through that area. The thing I did then is this. As you can see, this is where it fits into there like that, so we wanna go with this area here. And what you do is you put this little modified Technic piece in that side, and you put the jumper plate upside down in the other side. Now what that's gonna do is it's gonna stop this piece from pushing anymore because the stud from the jumper plate is now in that hole. So now if we take a tile, 1x2 tile, and put it on there, we have now created a gap on both sides for the LED strip to run through, and we've made it so that it is tight, it's no longer loose in this thing. So when we put 2 of these together, check that out. So that's why I did all the way across this thing, and what I actually ended up doing is if we have the jumper plate on the bottom on this side, here I'm gonna put it on the top, and then over here, put it back on the bottom, just to kind of even it out. Let me add the rest of these real quick, and then we'll put on the clear pieces. Put it like this. As you can see, that fits in there. It doesn't really wiggle around too much. The tricky part is wedging this in here. So you wanna get it around, see, like now that piece is mad. Okay, so now we got the last one on there. We have this locked together. So now we just need to add this to this. Just wedge this in there. Boom, there we go. So now this thing's locked together. If you make this too long, it actually won't work. So what you wanna do is probably put this part in the handle, like the handle around this thing here. You can see like right here, this piece is pretty bendy for some reason. So my plan is to take this, try and squeeze in one of these 1x1 studs. How does that work? Oh wow, that did really work. Yeah, that made it a lot tighter towards the end, so that's perfect. Let's go. The next step is to actually install LEDs in this. And it's a lot simpler than you'd think. Okay, don't run away. So I went on Amazon and found these LEDs. Apparently they're only red, but as you can see, the reason I got these is because they fit right in between there. You just turn it on, and these are really close together, which is why I got them. So all you're gonna do is simply feed it into that first one. It just goes all the way down. Assuming I got the right length, which is 6.5 feet. And then you just pull the rest of that through, loop it over at the top, and go all the way back down the other side. It'll just sit on both sides of the blade. We should be good to go. That should be our lightsaber blade. Now to turn it on. Let's see if this works. Yes, dude. A Lego lightsaber. Dude, this is like a dream of mine to have a Lego lightsaber, and this is built completely out of Lego, except for the LEDs, obviously. So the next step is to build a handle. And the way we're gonna do that is simply by taking this area and adding some modified pieces, and also making the battery pack smaller. So for the batteries in the handle, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a quick battery box. Not super smart here, but I'm guessing what you wanna do. Take 2 of these like this, 2 of these like this, and then tape them together. And then we take this, and we want to tape these 2 metal pieces there. Now we just need to solder this together. Now we have these 2 wires that go into our battery box. We have the switch, same one we took from the LEDs, and we can put that on the side so that we can turn on and off our lightsaber. Now hold this in here at the end. I'm just going to take my Technic axle. It'll keep everything nice and tight. So now we gotta build a handle. Right here, where the LED starts, and we need to make sure we leave room for the battery box, which sits right here. I'm trying to make this so it's customizable, so all you have to do is slap on 4 plates, and like, boom, you have a new lightsaber design. So I'm putting these little bracket pieces on the end of the lightsaber. And then down here, we need to do the same thing with brackets. Beautiful, mate. Put this right here. There we go. The other end of this, we'll just add a few more plates. You can hide the battery box in here. Now we have our lightsaber hilt base, all ready to add designs to. So that's the next step. So all I'm gonna do is just take off these plates, and we'll just build them up one at a time and add some designs. To start out, I'm gonna add some slopes. Okay, so now I have the sloped bit, and all we gotta do is just put that on here. On this side, I'm gonna add more of these, but add a jumper plate. I want this kind of top curve going around here, so I do that, and then I add that. Now that should continue all the way up to here. So let's add the rest of the slopes to finish the band around the top here. All right, so as you can see, I just finished this curve on the top. It has like a cool shape. I don't know, I like it. In here is where you're actually gonna hold the lightsaber. So what I'm gonna do is just put a tile through the middle, and then I'm just gonna add some cool details to it, make it look sick, and this thing should be done. All right, guys, here we have it, our completely working Lego lightsaber, and it is completely finished. I'm super excited to show you how this works. With the lights off, you can see if we switch this button, boom, Lego lightsaber. You can even get like the whooshes going, kinda. I don't have any lightsaber sound effects, so I'm just gonna do it with my mouth. This is so cool. The 1x5 Technic pieces inside of this are flexing just a little bit, which is giving it kind of that wiggling. Legos kind of have flex to them because they're plastic, so I couldn't get it to be like perfect, right? You can swing it just enough to make it real. This is just super awesome. I'm super happy with how this turned out, and you just turn it on and off using this tiny switch right here on the hilt. I'm gonna call this the Brick Saber, or the Tech Saber. The diffusion isn't great. I had an idea for that where I could just sand the inside of the Lego pieces, but I didn't know how you guys would react to that. Pretty sturdy, honestly sturdier than it was, so I'm glad I took some time to figure that out. We got this nice smooth shape on the hilt that turned out pretty good. It has a weak point here and here, but the rest of it's works pretty good. Huge thanks for watching, and make sure you guys check out this video's sponsor, Krazy Kai's Bricklink store, for your Lego brick needs. You can check out their store by clicking the link down in the description or by clicking this button right here. See ya.